My name is George Perry. I'm one of the executive board members here at Flight Club 502. I'm 54, but I started flying when I was 15. 20 years in the Navy, flying fighters, and then got out of the Navy after a 20-year career. Worked for Cirrus Aircraft, ran their Fleet and Special Missions business division, and then went over and ran the Air Safety Institute and Foundation at AOPA for about 3 years, and then decided to get back into flying full-time and came to UPS. So I'm an airline captain at UPS Airlines, flying the 7576. I've always thought aviation was a gift, and I wanted to expose my kiddos to it. And so I heard about Flight Club just kind of around the airfield and heard that Laura was the person to see about that. And we clicked right away, and my son got involved in the RV-12 build. And I'm like, hey, I can help if you want my help. And so there we go. That was about 7-8 years ago now. We've grown beyond our wildest dreams, and to see now sort of current events with the Shawnee youth coming through our aviation program, achieving, passing their written exam, doing their solos, working towards private pilots. It's just kind of the fruition of all the things that we were working for as a club and as a contributor to give back to the community. From a personal standpoint, both my kids have been involved in Flight Club in various ways, not really flying. My son helped out with finance and budget, and that's what he's studying in college now. And my daughter helped with the day-to-day operations here, and it was a heck of a growing experience for her. Just the exposure to sort of a real-world working environment was great for her. So it's helped my family grow. It's certainly helped the community. It's grown beyond my wildest dreams. When I got involved and sort of helped with the organizational fundraising, I thought it would grow, and I thought there would be demand from the local community and the local schools, but the level of demand has been astronomically more than I ever could have imagined. And I think we've done a couple of things to help set that up for success. One, we've got this group of volunteers and youth that are just super energetic, and no one is really constrained by what it can't be. Everybody's talking about what it possibly can be. And every time we reach a new milestone, there's that innovative entrepreneurial spirit that says, okay, now let's do this. And so I don't think we've ever sort of rested on our laurels and say, we've done enough, now let's just coast. I think it's what else can we do? And that's been the spirit of this place since day one. A team, a highly functional, highly effective team is always going to be better than someone working on their own, right? If you've got a bunch of people rowing, if everybody's rowing in the right direction, that boat moves down the river. If it's one person, the boat's moving, but they're going to get tired and there's going to be difficulties. And so that teamwork, that inclusion, the diversity of ideas sets an organization up for success every single time. And I call it friendly friction. When you've got two people and you're trying to solve a problem, there's going to be some different ideas of how do we get from here to there. And that friendly friction, if it's handled in the right way, can become extremely powerful and productive. Yeah, and so that gets back to that team mentality, is if you leverage the people around you to create that team environment, everyone's going to succeed in a more significant way. And so whether your team is a whole group of folks, or your team is you and your mentor that you can bounce ideas off or ask questions or say, hey, I've got this challenge or this problem. I was thinking about handling it this way. What do you think? And these are not difficult life lessons. If you go off half-cocked with a half-baked plan, you're probably going to get half-baked results. But if you can leverage those support systems, teams, mentors, organizations that are there to help, and get a more coherent solution, guess what? The results are probably going to be that much better. So absolutely mentorship, guidance, the two-way communications, real-world problem solving, all these things are going to be better when you work within a support structure. The person that I was most impressed with, that I learned the most from, was Jim Mattis, who was a 4-star when I worked for him. And he was incredibly inclusive, very helpful, and spent time and effort really mentoring me as a junior officer, and sort of said, hey, let me explain to you this environment you're not familiar with. Let me explain to you why things are happening the way they are, to give you that insight that I wouldn't have otherwise had. And it was amazing. I would have conversations with him, and I would come away from that like, I would have never thought of it that way, but now I understand if I'm in that situation again, I'll be much better prepared. And that's just mentorship. And so I've had plenty of mentors along the way. Talk to your mentor, talk to your friends. I've got this dilemma. What do you think? And I think a lot of that comes just from the people in the organizations you surround yourself with, and the culture that you impart on them and that they impart on you creates a stronger, more dependable moral compass. I'd probably have to say the F-18C, because it's just a lot of fun to fly. It was a hoot. I would say whatever your passions are or your dreams are, go after it. And the most successful people don't achieve and succeed the first time. They fail and they fail and they fail, and they get back up and they try again. And that's the best advice I could give a young person is it's okay to fail, don't give up.